Hello everyone, I'm Zuzka, the Craftsy Penguin, and today it's time for another WIPs update, works in progress, finished objects, mostly. And I have a lot of them because I didn't have an opportunity to film an update in a while. We were sick at home again. I mean, are we cursed? Did someone curse us? I don't know. No. We just had some bugs flying around. And finally, today I have tiny bit of time to do an update. Also, it's a really gray winter day. It's gloomy, so I have a helping light over there. I hope it's gonna work light-wise, contrast-wise with the video. Let's see. Here on my table again I have, I hope, all of the stuff that I was working on, and I think last time, just around the new year, I was showing you the ladybug that I was working on, and she is such a cute one. She is going to be a gift for 4th birthday of son of my best friend, basically. And I think she's perfect. The commission was worded as round with big eyes and a little, how do you call that, nose, snoot, something. So she has that, you can see. And then we added the legsies as well. Those are not in the pattern, but I'll link the pattern in the description of the video, as well as the pattern for this next thing. I was already showing you the hat, the 6-part hat. That was already done, and I was working on the mittens to go with that, and those were along a pattern which is free. It's on a blogspot link. I'll link that. That was quite challenging. I had a few issues with that, and I had to figure something out along the way to make it right, and still there is something that was not quite well. It works, it's okay, you can't really notice the thing, but yeah, me being the maker, I know about the issues with those. But the pattern is not that hard, but you need to think along the way. So I made mittens like this with different colored thumbs, and I think they're great. Cleo sent me the measurements for those because she has tiny hands and I have quite long fingers and big hands compared to her. But we figured out that basically the only thing that differs between me and her is the length of the fingers. So in this direction her hand is similar, the shape as well, and the wrist is similar as well. So it's only my long fingers and those don't count in this case. So this is the set for Cleo. I'm really happy with it. It is from a really soft yarn. It's the Ellen Baby, is it called? I don't have the yarn here. It's from the Ellen Baby from Vilnaheb. Yeah, right. And I still have reminders of that, so I'll have to deal with those at some point. Then I had a tiny order for a octopus, and I had to buy a ball of yarn for that. Again, we will have a stash busting update video in about a month, I think, because it's gonna be a year since my first stash tour, and I am curious to see the numbers, but I had to buy yarn in the year that I was not planning to do in the beginning. So and there is also one stupid catch in that, but you'll see that in that update. But I had an order to make an octopus, and I made two, of course, because of course my son saw it and wanted one, and then he played with it one time and abandoned it. But I have two octopuses now. Octopuses is right. So they're from the Aliza Veluto yarn. I would appreciate the camera to focus, please. Thank you. And they're adorable. Their tentacles are a bit floppy. And well, yeah, my sister-in-law who ordered this octopus will have the chance to choose one of these, and it's for her younger son, and they're just so cute. But yeah, I decided from now on, after working through the stash that I have, that if I'm going to work on plushies, they're going to be out of the Veluto yarn, because the other ones are just, I don't know, the quality is going down, everyone is talking about that, and fluff everywhere, basically, and some of them even break. There is gonna be one exception. I have more of the Dolce Maxi yarn for another Mega Cat. It's going to be a tortoise shell one, and I'm not sure how the mix of the yarns is going to work. We are gonna test that. I hope I have enough for that. That's somewhere in the future. But yeah. Then, oh, this is not actually the thing I was working on after that. Nope. I was then working on these, and they're already used, so parts of them are a bit dirty because my kiddos were playing in those. And they are two sets of Pokeball themed hats and mittens. So at start, my older son wanted the set, and I started the hat, and after I've done it following the pattern, which is basically just the basic beanie with color changes, I found out it's a bit too small for him. So I decided it's going to go to our younger son. And then I started the bigger hat, did that, and started the mittens, did those, and those were okay. But I was planning to line the hats with this fleecy fabric. And then Marek asked to also have the mittens lined. And when I lined the original mittens, they turned out smaller because the lining is inside and it makes the whole thing smaller. So those mittens went to Danik as well. So now this is the smaller set. Smaller hat, smaller mitts, lined, and the bigger set. And the difference is really minuscule, but it's noticeable. It works for the kiddos for now. It's not really for outerwear or anything, but they're playing in those and it would work. It's warm with the lining is a really old scrap of fleece that I had from making a cape like decades ago. So I was glad I was able to use that I had something I could line the hat with. And I did the lining by hand, I sewed it by hand, and I have to say I'm really happy about the way it turned out. It looks really neat. I know it's a small thing, but for my levels of sewing, it's good job me. It's pretty nice. So I'm really happy with that, and it's just a funny thing, but I myself am playing Pokemon Go, so they have Pokemon hats, Pokeball hats, although they don't play. I do. So yeah, that's the funny thing. Another thing that I wanted to sew but didn't yet have time, so that's a to-do for later, is Blanca brought me this piece of baby wearing wrap fabric from US. It's from Scotland but shipped to US and then brought here. It's this beautiful rainbow gradient, and it's in a pattern that I really love. It's again from Osha, and this is called a raven. The pattern is called a raven, and it was part of a pre-order, of a rainbow pre-order, and this fabric is woven with this chenille thread. It's not the thick chenille that I'm using for the plushies, of course, but it is a bit fluffy. It's pretty thick, and they say it's great for beach towels or towels in general. It is made for baby wearing, but if you have a small piece of it like this, it's perfect to just hem it and have it as a real towel. So my job is going to be hemming this on the machine this time, and I need to iron the hems to be able to sew it then, because I tried to pin it as it is and it just fights me. It's spongy and a bit thick, and it just doesn't want to hold, the fold. So I'll be working on that, but the fabric in itself is just amazing, and I love the pattern. And during the time I was baby wearing, they didn't make this pattern in a colorway and blend combination that I could use. They did one that was red and it had wool in it, so not usable for me. And they did some in silk, but that was prohibitively expensive. So I believe this was the first A-raven that I was able to get in some usable form, and it's going to be towels. I have two pieces like this, so they're gonna be quite big bath towels for us, for the kiddos basically, but I love the colors. It's rainbow. And another rainbow thing, and another sewing thing, was attaching the hem to the t-shirt. I've already shown you this. I had trouble imagining, the way that I should sew the lace or the hem to the t-shirt, but in the end I figured that out, and I thought I will need 2 rows of stitching, but for now there is just one, and it looks okay, so I'm hoping it's gonna work this way. So I can now show you, and I'll later maybe have a picture of me wearing this, but I think it's actually pretty perfect. Because the colors match almost perfectly, which is great luck, because buying yarns from the internet, you always have the problem of the colors not showing exactly right on the monitor of your computer or on the display. and you can't be sure if the color is the correct one. But these Camilla yarns, thankfully, luckily, had almost exactly the same colors that are on the t-shirt. So wow, it works great. I think from afar you can't really tell that it's different from the fabric, I think. And it has a bit of weight, so it's gonna hold the t-shirt taut downwards, which I think is great, because my problem was that after removing that piece of knit that was on the bottom, it was too short. So now it's gonna be okay, I think. And it's not gonna be snatched, you know, the knit that was there was snatching the bottom of the t-shirt. And now it's just straight, or even a bit wider than the t-shirt itself. So I'm looking forward to wearing this. And I need to do this in dark blue on that colorful triangle pattern t-shirt as well. So that's again ahead in the future for me. That's something for me myself, which I'm so happy about that. I'm glad I was able to manage this, because it was just a wild idea that it might work, and it did. So with some tweaking, it's okay, it worked, and I love it. And I think I have a piece of footage of me sewing this together. Yeah, because, oh yeah, of course. That was a fun thing. I had red thread in my sewing machine ready, because the last row here, you know, is the red color. So for sewing that, I used the red color, although it's not really visible on the outside. And in the bobbin of the sewing machine, it's sitting down there, that's why I'm looking down there, there was a piece of the red thread, but there was not a lot of it. I was like, okay, we're playing yarn chicken again. And we did, and I ended up with like this long a piece not sewn to the t-shirt because the bobbin ran out. So I basically used part of the upper thread to sew it by hand, the remaining 15 centimeters or something, and then joined the strip together, because where was it? Oh, here. It's not even visible from the outside. Wow, I did a good job. So here is where the two ends of the lace are joined together. You can see it from the inside maybe. So I filmed that, and I might use that footage in one of my videos, I think, or just join it in here, I'm not sure. But I think this update is already going to be quite long, so maybe some other time. Then, at that point, I had quite a lot of projects finished, and I was looking forward to something new. And there was this bag of the waltz yarn that I had plans for during the whole Christmas vacation, I think, but I was not able to get to that because I was working on other stuff. I wanted to try to make mitts, fingerless mitts out of that, and I knew after doing that I would be probably left with only scraps of the whole waltz yarn bundle that I had. So I was working on those mitts. Here they are. I believe the colors are a bit wilder on the camera, but this color gradient in this yarn is just amazing. I love the change from the blue to the purple and then red. And look at them, they're great. I sort of figured out the pattern as I was going. It's no published pattern or anything. I might write this down and publish it, but it was just figuring stuff as I went, figuring stuff out and finding out the, you know, pattern that I wanted. So you can see there are these fans in the upper part of the mitten, and I think it looks great. And the rest of it is just half double crochets with some rows of back loops only, or the third loop. So, and I was not really color coordinating it, but I saw that the remaining ball of yarn that I had was on both ends starting almost at the same color with the red in the center. So I did one mitten from one end, the other from the other end, and I had a small scrap that I joined somewhere in the second mitten. This is the second one. I did this one first and then this one, and it worked so well, I think. There is more red in this one, and after doing this, and tell me in the comments if you want the pattern. It's really simple. I had it done in 2 evenings, you know, in, I don't know, maybe it was like 3 hours altogether. So, quick project, and after doing that, I only have this bag of the wool scraps remaining, which is not so visible through the plastic, but I can grab it all in my hands like that. Oops. This is remainder of this same colorway, and this as well. And these are from another colorways. This is the bigger ball of the brown colorway. Those are just scrappy bits, so I used up something. I used up almost all of that. I need to weigh this and put it into my stash registry, or how do you call it? But yeah, let me know if you want a pattern for this. It's really easy. Yeah, and then I was already thinking of new projects to make, and I know I want to do several bigger things this year in crochet. I want to use some of my big gradient yarn cakes, and I'm thinking of a skirt for myself, of a top for myself. Out of that, I'll talk about it in another video, I think. I am planning a plans video, but I still had this feeling that I want to do another shawl for a friend. You know, use one of the yarn cakes for something that I sort of know but want to try another pattern, and just gift it to someone. And because it feels great. It gives me so much joy, and yeah, I just wanted to do that. And I thought that this one friend liked one of my yarn cakes on one of my pictures that I shared and wanted a shawl out of that. But she was visiting, I asked her about that, and I found out she meant another yarn, and it was a misunderstanding basically. She wanted something else, and she didn't understand how big the yarn cakes were, and all that stuff. And we were already discussing another thing that she wanted made for herself, which was more important for her. She wanted a hat. I will talk about it in a second, but the shawl plan that I already was forming in my head got cancelled this way, and I, after sharing the Sislov shawl, one other friend was reacting to it and loved it basically, and I already before that, in the past year, thought about making a shawl for her. And the trouble was that my yarn cake stash is mostly cool colors, and she is a person whose color palette is mostly warm. So I had a yarn cake in mind and consulted with another friend who knows her if it's okay to use for her, and I was warned that it's maybe not the colors that she would wear. So I scrapped that idea and left it for later, basically. And now when she reacted to the Sislov, I was like, look, Belle, I was already planning to make you a shawl, but I might not have the right colors. Would you be okay with such a thing? Do you want a shawl from me? And she was like, yeah, I love that. And I showed her pictures of my yarn cake stash, and she was able to actually choose one that she loved. And together we chose a pattern for that shawl. I told her about a maker who does patterns that are tea themed, that are named after different types of tea, and she loved that. But the only free pattern out of that was the oolong tea. So she said, yeah, I like that one, really, it's a nice one, so I'm going to be making the oolong tea shawl for Belle out of this yarn cake. So it's again Colorful Made shop yarn cake, and they are not cool colors, as you can see. It was almost the only one in my stash that was not cool colored, but still there is this bright pink, and there is this black part in it. I hope it's gonna work out okay and that she'll like it, but we'll see about that. That is a future make. So that is one of the plans, basically. And going back in the story, the hat that I was talking about is for Ginny. She is the one that I was not sure what she wanted in the shawl department. You know, we just postponed that plan for now. But the thing she wanted me to make her at this point was a hat. And she sent me an inspiration picture, basically, that it should look like this. And she sent me this picture of Elle Woods from Legally Blonde with this crochet, simple crochet hat out of double crochets. It's pink, it's just a basic beanie out of double crochets, basically. And I said, sure, okay, what color do you want? Or, well, we'll figure something out. And she came to visit, so I showed her the yarn that I had in my stash and discussed the type of hat that she wanted. So she said it was not the basic beanie that she was going after, but she was looking for a hat that wouldn't have this rolled up brim and the vertical stripes. No, because I made those 6-part hats before, like this one, and she didn't want that. She didn't want the brim like this, and she didn't want the stripes like this. So I said, no problem, there are patterns for hats that are more, horizontal and don't have the roll-up brim. And one of my favorite ones and most used ones is the Divine hat. And I let her try on some of mine, and she said those are pretty perfect. So she chose a yarn for that, and I was really happy with that because she chose this, it's already a mess, but it was the ice cream yarn, ice cream yarn that I got from, again, US through Blanca last year. And you can see I already started and I'm working on the Divine hat. and she wanted it in this mix, because I again need to work with 2 strands of yarn to have the right thickness, and I offered her to color match the 2 strands or to make it melange like this, and she was happy with this look. She took some time to decide, but she liked this look more. So I'm already done with the main pattern, and I'm working on the brim part, and it looks like it's gonna be okay. She needs it a bit snug, so it's already quite snug on my head, and I think it's gonna be okay for her. So I really like the way it's looking, and it seems like I will have only a small scrap remaining after I do that. So again, a ball of yarn used up, which is great. I'm really looking forward to the stash update. Maybe it's gonna be a nasty surprise, but I'm really curious about that. So this is what I'm working on right now, and I believe that's almost everything. One small thing that I was doing also was making this headband shorter. I had to undo the join and resew that because it grew bigger and the owner wanted it smaller. So I think I was already talking about that. But yeah, it's again from the polo stripes. They're just the best, you know, the colors are awesome. I wish the yarn was a bit smoother, but I can see with use it turns softer and smoother, so it's okay. When you are working with it for the first time, you know, right from the ball, it's a bit coarse or something. But yeah, after a bit, and after washing, it goes softer, so that's okay. I believe that's everything that I was working on for now, or that I plan for now. There is a small, sorry, the rustling. There is a small pile of stuff that I need to get to people, because I reshared the pictures of my stashed jewelry and bracelets, and some of my friends decided to get some. So I have small bags of bracelets and semi-precious stones. Is it gonna be visible? Maybe a bit. And jewelry, you know, packed into bags for different people. So I will be distributing that in the future, and I wanted to do that this week basically, but again we got sick and it was not fun. You know, after what was that, like 3 weeks of sore throats and cough and all of that, without, you know, reason temperatures or anything, but it was annoying. You heard me with my voice and all that, and to say the truth, my voice is still not okay, but I guess that's a thing for me now. After all of that, we were okay for like a week, and then we got some stomach bug, so it was at least quicker than the sore throat. It's all over, I believe now, but yeah, it was exhausting. It was terrible. This Monday I was feeling just, it was awful, and I didn't sleep well and all that. It was sorry, I'm complaining. I'm complaining and rambling, but that's how it was. So yeah, that's my update for now. I believe that's all of it. If it's not all of it, I'll share that in the next one. I'll have the crafty plans video coming out soon, I believe. I also need to do the meshback tutorial. I know I'm talking about that since last summer. Sorry for that. I needed to write down the pattern. I need to do pictures for the pattern. And I have a tester for the pattern, so I need her to actually try it. So I hope I will be doing that in next few weeks, and I will be doing the stash update video as well. So there's a lot of stuff to do. I'm looking forward to all of that. I hope you're gonna like it. And I have to thank you, all of you, for watching my videos, for subscribing. I have a few new subscribers. Thank you so much. Welcome to the channel. Please keep following my videos. It helps me so much and I'm so grateful. I'm not looking to, grow a great channel and monetize or anything like that. The numbers are not enough for that for now. But I like the tiny community that we have, and I like the connection that works through YouTube like this. So thank you so much for liking the videos, commenting, watching through the videos. In itself is awesome. If you like it, just subscribe and follow. Use the subscription page on YouTube, not the recommendation or homepage or for you or how it's called, because that's not gonna show you the stuff you're subscribed to, because YouTube. I mean, I like this platform, but the algorithm and the system of recommending videos is just, it's crazy. It wants us all to sit in our small niches and only do this one thing. I'm not gonna do that. I can't. I'm watching all of this diverse content and I'm doing all of these diverse things, and I'm not going to stop doing that for YouTube. So that's also some stuff that I wanted to address. So as said, thank you so much for watching. Have a great time. Enjoy crafting, enjoy creating, and enjoy the colors. Goodbye.